Here.
I'll share.
We have a quorum. Citizens' comments. Pursuant to Texas Government Code Section 551.007, members of the public may speak on any topic. Comments are limited to 3 minutes, and no action may be taken by the council. Any response from a member of the City Council to non-agenda comments is limited to a statement of specific factual information, a recitation of existing policy, or direction to staff for follow-up. We have one citizen's comment at this time. I'd like to ask Shiloh Holland, come to the podium, please. Okay. We are going to open everything up on a discussion, so if you wanted to speak to the group, you could do that now.
Not used to walking all the way over here. Y'all know who I am. I'm Shiloh. I'm a dog trainer. I think I'd stop talking about this at some point. So, animal ordinances. I'm grateful y'all passed it. I know it had to be repealed, and I'm sure that'll be rectified soon. I've been going through some stuff the last couple of months with some of the animals that have been dumped and ended up in my care for foster care. Okay, most of these are unaltered. All of them have been unmicrochipped or unidentified in any shape, form, or fashion. Most of them have been dumped, not left in the care of some kind of animal rescue, not left with somebody who can afford to do the things that these animals need to do. My resources are spent trying to take care of my own animals, my family, build my business. And I guess my hobby now is paying for other people's irresponsibility with animals, because most of these are little puppies that got past a point that people are like, oh, they're tiny and cute, and they just keep breeding these animals. So I had to find a solution to be able to place these animals, because I cannot keep fosters for years at a time. Regardless of their temperament, I needed to find a place where I can take them. And the Humane Society has done a fantastic job for years getting animals shipped out. I'm not directly affiliated with a rescue, and as affordable as it is for me to surrender animals, and they make sure that I can do that, and then the animals get moved quickly when they're taken to the animal shelter, okay? And they provide all of the medical care that the animals could possibly need. They do a great job, all right? But there's more than they can just handle alone. And it's ended up that I've had several that I've pulled myself, found on the side of the road. People have brought to me that I have needed to go and get spayed or neutered. I have had some friends help me with the financial costs of this, but I still needed somewhere to put these animals because I'm not a hoarder. I only have 3 dogs, okay? I have horses, but they're not in town. And anyway, so I'm not a hoarder, and these animals have to go somewhere. I don't mind fostering. I love to foster. It makes me feel good. But it doesn't make me feel good when I've got these animals for 6 and 8 months at a time. So I made contacts in Connecticut and New Hampshire. They have laws up there that are quite useful and very consistently obeyed because they're enforced, where they are required. It's not optional to spay and neuter your pet. It's not optional to microchip or register your pet. You have to do these things. And if you don't, the culture is such that you are ostracized. You don't get to keep your pets. Your neighbors will make sure you don't want to own a pet. Okay? Your animals don't stay outside for long periods. They are not left out on a cable, because that is the culture, which has to change around here for all of this to change. But in order to do that, we have to have laws that are enforced that will change this. In the meantime, I'm shipping dogs up to Connecticut to get them out of this place that could be so much better. Thanks.
Thank you, Shiloh. No more citizens' comments at this time. You needed, yeah, we're going to have an open forum here in just a second. New business, 4A. This will be an introduction of open discussion regarding our animal control. Our city manager, Dr. Smith, will speak to this at this time.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Our goal tonight is allow our attendees to provide us feedback on the Animal Control Ordinance that was repealed. While there are some really good things in the ordinance which help Gun Barrel City head in the right direction as it relates to animal control ordinances and our animal problems, our residents spoke, and we're here to listen. But first, a little history. This process started in June of 2024 with multiple public input sessions and council discussions. In January of 23, we contracted with Innovative Animal Management to begin a rewrite of the animal control ordinances. In June of 2024, we held a work session. In July of 2024, we held a work session. In August of 2024, we passed the ordinance. In November of 2024, we received the petition to repeal, and council repealed the animal control ordinance. Tonight is the first town hall and community discussion on our animal control ordinances. And then in mid-March, we'll have a second town hall community discussion on animal control ordinances. I mention all this because animal control ordinances are important, and our council and our staff have invested a lot of time and will continue to invest time until we find some that work for Gun Barrel City. How important, you may ask? The animal control budget for Gun Barrel is $122,370, and that includes our contract with the Humane Society. In January of 2025, we impounded 15 dogs, took 13 of those to the Humane Society at Cedar Creek Lake. One went to a rescue, one was returned to the owner. We had 5 dog bites, 2 cat bites, and just to date in February, we have had 2 animal abandonment cases in Gun Barrel City that our animal control officer and our police department are currently working. We're not the only city that would have required registration or chipping. Toole, Malakoff, Kemp, and Athens all require some type of registration or chipping, and together is how we start to address the problems with dumped and loose animals in Gun Barrel City. Tonight, we're having a community discussion regarding changes our residents might like to see with the ordinance that was repealed. It is where council agreed to start with the discussion. Staff is not proposing starting over. As I have shown, we have time and money invested in the ordinance that got repealed. But we do want to make it better, and we do want to educate our public on the problems we're having. Our police chief will be here next Tuesday night. He's here tonight, along with our animal control officer, but he will be here next Tuesday night at the council meeting to give his quarterly report, and one of those will be a full update on our animal control services. Shortly, the mayor will ask council and staff to join our residents on the floor of the council chambers. You will see around the room storyboards of some of the hot topics we heard from our residents with the repealed ordinance. Council will move to the tables in the front of the dais, and staff and our partners will be around the room to visit with our attendees. We ask that you please give us your thoughts on the storyboard. Having the comments in writing really helps us take this information back and strengthen our proposed ordinances. We haven't hit every single area of a 10-page ordinance with our storyboards, but there's a blank board. I'll put it up in just a second. If you have other comments, please feel free to put them on that board. As I said earlier, we will be holding another community discussion town hall in March, and those comments will help us know what to highlight at that event. With us tonight, there are, of course, our council members, our representatives from the Humane Society of Cedar Creek Lake, Feral Heroes, a variety of staff, our police chief, our animal control officer, and we are all here to listen to our residents and come up with the best ordinance at the end of the day. I do, again, encourage everyone, go to the storyboards and make your comments on the storyboards so that we can then take that back and strengthen our ordinance. We want to be sure we don't miss anything that's critical in this conversation. Mayor, we can now dismiss to the floor of the chambers to visit it with the residents and get that critical feedback to ensure our future ordinance is strong.
Thank you, Dr. Smith. So I want to add to this that this is going to be a really constructive evening of discussion and open discussion. I hope that everyone would be respectful and open of one another's ideas. We will, at some point in time, pass an animal ordinance. I mean, that will happen. How it looks at this point in time, that's what we're asking the citizens and the constituents to help us with. So there will never be said that this council just passed something without anybody knowing anything about it. Okay, everyone has had an opportunity. This is what a town hall is. to give you that full opportunity to voice your opinion. So anything that is said past this point that we are some type of a dictator and we're passing off stuff like that is just going to be foolish and nonsense. So at this point in time, I'm going to get everybody to exit the dais here, and we will open up the floor for discussion. And I thank everyone that showed up, because it shows that there are a number of people that do care, and for the people that do provide services for all of our animals, you're a godsend, and I thank you very much. And so at this time, we will open the floor for discussion.
trouble. So I have someone here that can answer those questions about TNR. What is it and why did you do it and how does it not contribute to the cat population? Lynette's here to answer questions about the shelter, the Humane Society, and they're an amazing partner to us. Amazing partner to us. Carol has a lot of interactions with them. So, but we're here to help if we can help. So.
I don't know if the community is entirely aware of all the really incredible changes and improvements that the shelter has okay, if you're gonna rehome, if you're gonna give away for free, I mean, I think they should be getting fined for that. There was, Tamara, I think it was, dropping off medicine for somebody's cat, because they can't afford it. So picking up a cat carrier for the same lady, and across there was a free sign, free cats, like, looks like a professional sign they had made. And the lady said it's been there for 5 years. Really? Okay, so they're just professional, long-time breeders of these cats. And just, they should be in trouble. Like, somebody should go knock on the door, what are you guys doing? Of course, I got all the care and everything else on next room, that's okay. You're not the one dealing with all of these cats. I've got my own, I'm a single mom, I have a full-time job. All the excuses everybody has, and I'm still there forever. So, I mean, I think they need to be considered a breeder too.
I agree, yes, agree. Anybody who has unaltered animals, in my opinion, as a breeder. Yes, I mean, as an animal professional, if your animals are unaltered and you have male and female,
You're considered a breeder.
You're breeding.
So,
And,
you need to be,
I mean, as a professional, it is wildly difficult to keep a female in heat and a male who's still got all his parts separate from each other. And I have separate buildings, like steel crates. They lose their crap. Okay, they're not safe. Yeah.
We want to resist that.
Can I just interject for a second? How many of these people are actually registered voters in Glendale City?
I'm a business owner.
In Glendale City? Are you registered voter here?
I vote here, but I am a business owner in the city.
You are a voter here, registered voter in Glendale City.
No, I am a business. Not a voter,
But
but I
I'm
vote on this.
not, because residents, to me, we're hearing a lot from people maybe that are hearing voices from outside that are coming in. And I
the
think,
Humane Society is not located within Denver. They're a huge part of
Business owners
of what we do. This is a community issue all the way around the lake. It's not a Denver city issue alone.
but the problem that I have is, and what the mayor said earlier, is that this is going to be done in secret. One of the problems that I led a petition to repeal this, I'm a mayor's space, and I listened to people when I went out and talked to them. We had over 300 people that signed that petition.
I wish they had come
And-
to talk to us. Yeah, where are they?
I'm sorry, but this is the problem. They don't work for you. You work for them. I went out
But
and
they
talked
have
to
to,
them.
they have to show
I
up and tell us
went
what they
and
need.
talked to them. That was your job, but I did it. I heard what they had to say. You have 300 names on that schedule that you can go out and you can contact them and ask them why they signed it. Y'all haven't done that.
One of the things that Maris was sharing with me was she wishes we had more people on staff to actually go out and enforce these laws. But my question is,
100%.
where does that money come from?
How about the 50,000 you paid for a study that people could have just gone to the other cities, pulled up their animal control and had.
We didn't pay. So let's
It is a copy and
hang on, time out. This is not what this is about, right? It isn't about judgment, we're about making the ordinance better, and one, we didn't pay that much. So, now here we are, how do we make it better? We're a city that doesn't have a property tax, right? Sales, we operate our entire city on the back of sales tax. So, there are a lot of people that have big animal control departments, but they also have a property tax that supports maintaining that community to that way. We don't have that, so the question is, how do we recoup? We do have $400 a dog, but I'll be honest with you, animal shelter budgets are $500,000, right? A cheap animal shelter budget is $500,000. How do we combat that? I think that we're looking for solutions, not accusations. I'm going to keep bringing us back to we're looking for solutions, not accusations. And some of your council has gone out and talked to those people, but we're doing these kind of forums so that they can give us feedback and nobody shows up. And it's
But
hard,
I'm
right?
talking about, that's what I'm talking about. It's like y'all are waiting for the people to come to you, and I'm telling you that it's your job.
This is a voluntary position, and I have a full-time job.
Yes.
So does April. We all have lives. We can't go out and knock on doors all the time.
I'm waiting
data, and I'm very data-driven, and that's something that has concerned me so much in this whole process, is that nobody's giving data to back up what they're saying. They'll come in with an emotional story that they're not telling me. When I look at the data that the city had approved, now the numbers are going up. Now they are, but they were not. When you look at the data, in the first 6 months of last year, when y'all were first discussing this, and I brought the data in, your average for animal abuse, according to the city statistics, was zero. Zero per month. That said that you didn't even have a problem, and yet you paid all this money to do it. Now, what are we doing? So the people came out and they said, well, we don't like what they did. One thing, they said it was done in the dark because they didn't know about it. It's like, and I had people that coming out, saying, well, people didn't know and they should come to the cities, but they have jobs and they have kids. So there's a lady tonight that didn't come, but she had a babysitter for kids, and we had another lady. She's a recluse. They signed a little petition saying what they would like. But the thing is that they said that it was basically non-existent. And if you look at the statistics, you will see that animal control is on duty less than 17% of the time.
I'm going to say,
You cannot.
animal control, how long they're on duty, doesn't have to do with making our ordinance better. We did
It
an
absolutely
ordinance.
100% does, because if it's not going to be enforced, it doesn't matter how many laws you pass or how many things that you do, it will not solve the problem. The problem has to be dealt at the root. And the root is that you don't even have enough coverage to consider even doing some of the stuff that you want to do, because it's just not there. If she's now going to have to be filling in a database and microchipping and checking microchips, well, that's less time that she's going to be out there taking that football off my
We have an entire team that does this, right? It isn't about one person. I want to be very clear. She can talk about this. We had an instance this weekend that if somebody in the room could share with you, that if Carol isn't on duty, we have officers that can respond, and they do respond. So to assume that one person is solely responsible for it is inaccurate. And Maris, I don't know, last January of '23 what that said, but I can tell you what we're doing today. And this weekend, our officers had to go out and get a dog. And we then have to partner with getting that out and doing that. But it's not just one person. We have an entire police department. We have this false assumption and that we should call Carol's cell phone and then she's going to go. But dispatch is dispatching for our entire police department. And when they call that number, officers will respond. They're not going to respond to every dog every time because, again, I said this to somebody, if we picked up every dog running up and down, we would pick up 100 dogs a month. At $400 a dog, it would be $40,000 just in over dogs above our contract. We have to fund that somehow. We can't fund that on the sales taxpayers' back. So there is we have to worry about this all balancing out.
So I'm the justice of the peace for precinct 2. I'm from Eustis to 7 Points to Tool to Kemp to Maple. Okay? Let me put this into perspective of exactly what she was saying, and I was going to say something when you started. I think it's great that you had so many people sign a petition. I went and knocked on doors to be elected, and I didn't win, okay? The former JP stepped down, and I got appointed. 10 people applied. I went and did my case, and I was very fortunate that I got put in the position that I wanted to be in. But when I went and knocked on doors, I heard all kinds of complaints about the area and all the things. And they had a lot of bad things to say. But when I go back to that voters thing, and every door that I knocked on that complained, voted for the person that they complained about. Do you see what I'm saying? So I can understand these people's perspective on their volunteering, their time, but those 300 people that you said that complained or whatever, they're not here. So it makes it very difficult for them to be able to justify what you're saying. I'm not saying what you're saying is not valid at all, because I think it's important for the community.
I think they spoke when they signed the petition to repeal it. They spoke.
Sure, they did. They spoke, but they're not here to discuss it and to make it better. So then it goes back to the same thing. You were saying that you have to have the body to answer these calls and stuff. I'm one person. And like I said, I'm from Eustis to Kemp. I'm called for this whole area. If someone dies, I'm called. I may have 5 calls in one day. I may have 10 in one day. I'm one person. So you can do it. You can put things in place, and minimal people can work it if it's worked right. So don't try to think of it as they're putting something in perspective to make it better, and they may have to add people eventually. They may see, oh, this isn't working right here. We may have to add somebody. It's just to have some kind of boundary to start with to make it grow. It's not going to be perfect at first. Nothing is perfect at first. We're all human, and we all make mistakes, and we all have different things that we have to do. But just take back a little bit and see that they're working on it. That they wouldn't have an open discussion if they're not willing to hear what those people on that petition have said. Just that's just what that's all.
And here, before anybody else talks, here's what I'm gonna say. Here's what I need everybody to do. We've had a great discussion, we've had a lot of conversations. What I really need folks to do now is go to these, get out of your chairs, and go to the boards if you haven't already, and put your feedback on the board screen. That helps us the most. We may never all agree, and it's okay. That's what makes the world go round. I've done this for 24 years, almost 25 years. And there are always people that don't agree, and that's all right. Our goal is to end with the best ordinance we get, and I need your vote to do that. So I'm gonna kind of stop the grandstand. Okay, you're welcome to go talk to Paris. Everybody stand up and go to the boards and right.
Can I say one thing on my report?
Sure.
Since I've become chief, I've done everything I can to be the most transparent chief. Okay? On our animal control report that y'all get, that is strictly what our animal control officer is doing. That doesn't include my officers going out on the weekends and doing a dog collar or doing something else. Because, or she's sick, or she's not here, whatever. If my officer's going to do it, that's not on her report, because she didn't do it. Okay, that falls under the police act, because we went with it. So everything on that animal control report is 100% what she did. That's what makes sure everybody understands that.
So, can everybody get up out of their chairs? You can move around, you can talk to each other, you can write on boards, you can write in Hey Angie, you write on her feelings, whatever you want to write. But we need your feedback to make this better, and the way that we do that is through, and you can talk among yourselves, when you're done, you're welcome to go, you write on the boards.
And bottom line, it's not, you know, I mean, I didn't hear that. Okay, wait. Yeah, I mean, I can take up all these. I'm joking.
So, the Friends of the Animals? No. Okay, so hold on. They've actually already agreed that if we could find that would be willing.
Bissell Foundation.
Yes, Bissell Foundation doesn't have enough vets in the area to do what I've already talked
Yeah, and they do some at DAS.
Right. It's not that they won't or they can't. It's that we're in the process of trying to find that. Dr. Lexi Clay has offered, she can't maybe, but it's still in the process of getting all the paperwork done.
Right, and then like, where can we go to schools? Can they, some of these kids get out, these students get out of, like, and certification where we can, where we can put cats like, because I will in a minute. I can't do the females, you need to be a professional. But it's like, I can go in there and I will be doing it all my time.
But they don't have any control over the water.
So I just,
So what is it
so
that
I
we're gonna?
just, for one, I just went and applied for like female.
Right, sure.
Have that? Do I have that paper? And I make a copy and put it in your box? Mine? I didn't get one, so if I had it. Yes, how are you? Yeah, talked to him and I put them up with Brooke. So I talked to her and I said, look, you really need to talk to him. Go that way, yeah. So yeah, I talked to her yesterday or the